Ja, herzlich willkommen zur neuen Ausgabe des E-Talk, Mai 2017. ALX Uranium ist bei mir. Und wir kennen die Company, es ist eigentlich das erste Interview, das wir machen, deswegen machen wir jetzt einmal so ein generelles Interview und dann komme ich ein bisschen mehr zum Uranmarkt selber, weil Uran ist zwar immer ein heißes Thema, aber irgendwie springt die Story trotzdem noch immer irgendwie nicht richtig an. Warren, thank you to have time, and you're chairman of the ALX Uranium. I told this in my German introduction, it's a more general interview, so it's our first interview. We cannot go too deep into the details, but maybe bring us a little bit of what the company doing in a nutshell. Uranium means, for sure, you're looking for uranium.
We are a pure uranium exploration company.
In which area?
In the Athabasca Basin of Saskatchewan.
The well-known one?
The well-known one where the world's highest grade deposits are found. That's right. That's why I got into the uranium business. I mean, 20 years ago, I was in a company that was into gold, and we looked at the value per ton of uranium, and it was like $10,000 at the time, and my employer was like, what? 10,000? So you look at that, it's a multi-ounce gold deposit potential, right? So we started looking for uranium. I've never stopped.
Great. So then let's come to the end of my interview. What do you think about the uranium market itself? But we do it in the end. First,
it at the end. Yeah, let's do that.
First, we look at what's kind of project you have at the moment. What is the last results were coming out? What's average grade is? We know at Athabasca Basin, when you hit something, it's going normally huge and big and yeah.
Because of the value of the deposits. So right now we have the Hook Carter project. We sold 80% of that project to Denison Mines.
But this is not a bad thing.
We still have 20%. Over time, they have to spend $12 million on the project. That's what was in the deal.
Are you carried interest, or?
We are carried to that point.
Okay.
That's right. If they don't spend $3 million, which is very unlikely, they would actually lose 5% and go down to 75%. We did receive 7.5 million shares of Denison for that. At the time, it was valued at 4.2 million Canadian. That forms a big part of our working capital right now. Mm-hmm. I mean, we don't really want to dilute our equity right now and raise money the conventional way. We would potentially get some flow-through financings done. Mm-hmm. Flow-through is a Canadian tax benefit for Canadian residents and Canadian citizens. But generally speaking, I mean, the Denison shares have provided a big capital base for the company.
Coming to the project, okay, then what Denison doing on this project, and do you get all the results with it? Can you use it also on your side, on the press release, that you can coming up with some numbers or so on?
It's time for us to get an update from Denison. We know they've done through the winter and coming into the spring. There's different seasonal geophysical surveys that you can perform depending on what the ground conditions are. So we'd like to know soon what they accomplished, and we know they're leading to a drilling program. And they're talking about, I believe it's 2,700 meters, which is a really good test. I mean, that's nearly $1 million worth of drilling, if not more.
How deep is the resource or the potential resource of the?
In the area of our claims, it's possible that these holes could be 600 to 700 meters.
Okay.
They're drilling in areas where often you have blocks of the geological blocks have moved and shifted, so they could be 500, it could be 700 meters. Okay. We don't know exactly.
Okay. So that's a good test for Denison, and you get a big overview. Do you have other projects, but you work on your own?
Yes, we have Newnham Lake. We own 100%, subject to underlying agreements with vendors. We're really excited about it. Newnham Lake was drilled extensively, but not very deep.
Okay.
So what we see from the historical work, often holes were only 30 meters into the basement rocks.
Okay.
And now what we've learned from NextGen's discoveries at Arrow, some of these new discoveries at Denison at Griffin, they're much deeper into the basement. Cameco proved that with the Millennium deposit. People didn't think that you could find high-grade uranium that deep. So Newnham Lake has never been tested that way, and we're going to test it.
Do you want to test it this year, or when you want to test it?
It could be this summer. Logistically speaking, we're looking at other projects in that area, performing due diligence. Depending on the funds we have on hand, we could be drilling 2 projects in the next 6 months, or at least 2 projects in the next 12 months, Newnham being one of them.
So that means you have one project with Denison, 80% Denison. You get an update from them. They must spend 12 million. You carried interest up to this 12 million. You have still then 20% of the project.
Correct.
You should get in the next few weeks, months, an update from Denison what they're doing in
soon. It's a matter of asking them.
Yeah.
Yes. And
but by side, you have also a project on your own, what you're working on it.
That's
and you want drill in the next 6 to 12 months, minimum 2 projects of them, and see what's happened. And it's changing a few things in the last year, especially in the Athabasca Basin. That's the people must look deeper from the recent exploration, what's happened in the last few years of discoveries, what they find in the Athabasca Basin, that you must look deeper. So it's mean all the project must drill first before coming up with that.
I believe that the unconformity deposits that we have, the model we have followed for so long, that those unconformity deposits lie at the interface between sandstone and basement rocks, but the real source could be much deeper. Mm-hmm. So when you find weak mineralization at that interface, the unconformity, it doesn't mean it's a bad project.
No.
It could mean that the source has never been tapped, and that's what we're looking for.
Okay. So can you say something about more the share structure? How many shares are outstanding? What is the market cap and how much cash you have on hand?
So we have 70 million shares outstanding right now. Market cap is approximately 5.6 million Canadian. Working capital is over 7 million when you count the value of the Denison shares. So cash is over $1 million of that. It's fairly fluid. We're spending money. We put deposits down on properties, etc. But the value of the shares also fluctuates. But it's approximately 7 million.
What is in general the market cap? Do you know?
Market cap is 5.6 million. Yeah.
So you trade it on.
So we're trading actually below the value of our assets. Yeah.
So
there's a lot of value in the company right now. So.
Coming to that, what to say in the beginning, uranium market itself, and I say it's in my German introduction.
You saved that for the end.
I say it for the end. A lot of people think, and this was always in the last few years, yes, the uranium price should go up. The supply-demand issue, it looks like, and China built so many nuclear power plants, and Japanese coming back, and this and that, but it's not really coming. Last year we see the first pump, so from 18, 19 to 26, 27, 28, but now we are still back again. So what is your feeling about the uranium market?
A lot of it depends on Japan, and the Japanese restarts of reactors has been very slow, way slower than people thought. When you saw those bursts of enthusiasm in the uranium price, it's because the anticipation was Japan would restart a certain number of reactors. They did not, to my knowledge. It's only a handful, instead of up to 38 or 40. So we have a stockpile that's growing. So really, I think on the development side, if you have found a deposit and you're drilling it off, you're actually in a worse position because discovery is what gets people excited. And we're strictly an exploration company. We don't have any aspirations to go out and mine uranium anytime soon. Mm-hmm. We want to find uranium for the future. We'll sell that to a larger company that's prepared to put that on ice for a number of years until it's time. And the other thing is, every deposit is different. You could find deposit number 1, and it's a lovely deposit, but economically it's not easy to mine. Mm-hmm. So we keep looking, and the more deposits we can discover, you can find the ones that float to the top, so to speak, of the priority of how easily they could be mined.
So, and this is more independent from the uranium price than...
That's what I see. I mean, when being involved in the Patterson Lake discovery, which I was in 2012 and 2013, that was the one company or the one discovery, Alpha Minerals and Fission Uranium, that ran against the entire market. Everything else was crashing. But the strength of that discovery, it was such a wonderful thing to happen. It creates incredible momentum. And when you get to the point where you have to drill 200 or 500 holes to figure it out, that's when people tend to lose interest.
Yeah,
but it's the
absolutely.
discovery that matters,
Absolutely.
and that's what we're after.
Well, thank you. I think it was a perfect introduction. Next time we can go a little bit deeper.
Sure, we will.
And hopefully then you're coming up with some results from the drilling or from
Exactly.
Dennis.
We'll tell you all about our new best hole. Yeah.
Perfekt.
Yeah.
Ja, das war die Einführung sozusagen bei ALX Uranium und er hat ein paar interessante Punkte rausgehalten. Das erste Mal ist, die Marktkapitalisierung ist niedriger als das, was sie eigentlich an Geld bzw. Aktien von Denison haben. Da bringen wir schon zum Denison. Denison haben so ein Joint Venture 80-20, das heißt, die haben Denison Mines hat 80% eines Projektes gekauft, dafür haben sie Aktien bekommen und muss jetzt 12 Millionen investieren, dass sie ihre 80% sozusagen kriegen. Das heißt, die brauchen kein Geld in die Hand nehmen, bis die ersten 12 Millionen ausgegeben ist. Da erwartet man in der nächsten Zeit ein Update von Denison, was die so getan haben und das können sie auch dann veröffentlichen. Das ist das Erste. Aber es gibt noch mehrere Projekte nebenan, die denen zu 100% gehört und da wollen sie mindestens 2 Projekte in den nächsten 6 bis 12 Monaten bohren. Das Management hat um die 10% Anteil. Wie gesagt, 70 Millionen sind Aktien, sind draußen und die Marktkapitalisierung ist irgendwie über 5,5 Millionen, obwohl die Aktien, was sie von Denison haben und Cash, mehr wert ist. Was auch interessant ist, er hat gesagt, eigentlich geht es eher darum, um eine Discovery zu machen. Wenn man eine Discovery macht, das treibt den Aktienpreis. Dann nachher das zu entwickeln, das interessiert schon die meisten Leute nicht mehr, aber dort, wo man das Discovery macht, dort kann man das meiste Geld machen. Und das ist genau das, was sie eigentlich wollen. Sie wollen Discovery machen und der Große soll das dann dementsprechend danach aufarbeiten. Also interessante Sache von dem, wenn man an Uran glaubt und an den Uransektor. Es geht um eine Discovery. Schaffen Sie es in den nächsten 12 Monaten, dass das eine oder das andere Projekt eine Discovery ist, dann wird die Aktie dementsprechend zu einem anderen Preis gehandelt werden. Das war's von ALX Uranium Warrant Mai 2017 Vancouver. Tschüss und Baba.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you.
My pleasure.